Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out a new addition to Peak Design's outdoor line. This is the 18-liter backpack, and it's going to offer a similar aesthetic and harness to the 25-liter backpack that was part of the original release of the outdoor collection, but it's going to have a smaller size and an updated layout. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walked through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the look here is going to feel pretty similar to the 25-liter version of the bag. And so it's an interesting blend of Peak Design's kind of modern and sleek style with a more outdoorsy pack. You have compression straps and webbing and some of those elements, but it doesn't feel overwhelmingly technical. It's still something that I think is going to be versatile enough to use for just exploring a city and traveling in addition to going into the outdoors. As far as the materials, this feels really solidly built. The exterior fabric is Peak Design's Terra Shell, which is a 210D ripstop nylon that's going to offer a nice amount of durability and weather resistance while helping to keep the weight of the bag manageable. And then you have just really nice components all throughout as far as the webbing, the straps, the attachment points, and some smooth working zippers with a nice amount of protection on the main compartment. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have two external water bottle pockets, one on each side, and these are going to offer a nice amount of space. I was able to store my 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, and this slides in there securely. It's a deep compartment. It will also work well with Peak Design's tripods. And then you have these compression straps along the side, which we saw in the original 25-liter backpack. They have these clips which you can release and adjust. And so this is going to give you some additional flexibility with what you can store on the bag. You also have a compression strap here to pair with something that's a little bit taller. And so great to have that added flexibility. One thing that I did notice though is that these straps could potentially get in the way while you're loading your water bottle in. So you just kind of have to move everything. But for the most part, the added flexibility works, and you can actually remove these if you prefer not to use them. On the front of the bag, you have the Peak Design logo and accents that are part of the outdoor collection. And at the top, you have a pretty nice carrying handle. This is fairly thin. It's not super padded, but the material feels durable. It gives you enough space to be able to grab the bag. And then as far as the capacity, as the name implies, this comes in at about 18 liters, which is a really nice daily bag size. It's a little smaller than what I normally like to carry with me, but it's still able to hold a good amount due to its simpler layout. And it's also going to have a pretty streamlined profile. So even when it's more packed out, it still hugs your back nicely, making it great for navigating crowded areas, going on hikes, jumping on a public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. This to me is the standout feature of the outdoor line's backpacks. The straps here just feel really well padded and comfortable right out of the box. On the inside, they're gonna have a nice material to help prevent moisture from building up. And they also have a great width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when they're a little bit more packed out. And on the straps, you also have some webbing or attachment points that you can use to clip on additional accessories. And you have a couple of spacious pockets here that are going to be a great spot to store something like your phone or anything else that you want to reach quickly. This is also compatible with Peak Design's camera clips. And then you have adjustable and removable sternum straps. They have the same attachment points that we saw on the compression straps on the side. And then there's a couple of different spots here where you can adjust it so that it's as comfortable as you want. You have the two sternum straps here, but you can of course remove these or adjust them as needed. And then you do have the ability to add a waist belt that's sold separately. I wouldn't necessarily use that for the 18-liter size of the bag, but good to see that you have the option to add it if you want. And then the back panel has also felt very comfortable. The padding is well distributed here. It's gonna have that same material that we saw on the straps to provide you with breathability. You have good elevation to give you some airflow. So this is definitely something that I could wear for a longer period of time throughout the day quite comfortably. Jumping into the organizational options, the layout here is pretty minimal. On the front, you have two zippered quick access pockets. They're gonna offer a nice amount of space. In one of them, at the moment, I just have a couple of smaller items. I have my headlamp here, as well as a portable battery. And inside of this compartment, you have a lanyard with a clip that's gonna be a good spot for your keys or a multi-tool. And you do have the ability to move this, if you prefer, to the other side. And speaking of the other side, you have another compartment, again with a vertically oriented zipper, so great that you can swing the bag around and access both of these compartments. And these are actually separate compartments, so you can use each of them independently. Of course, if you put bulkier items, they're gonna, kind of share the volume here, but you do have a nice amount of space, and great that you actually have some separation. In this one here, I have a Tom Bin Ghost Wool pouch, and then I have my sunglasses with their case. Moving into the main compartment, unlike the 25-liter version of the bag, this does not have a roll top opening. It's a clamshell style bag. You can open the zipper up here near the top to reach in and grab what you might need. This layout isn't my favorite because of the rigidity of the back panel. It just makes it tricky to grab stuff without opening it more. You do have this flexible top here, so you can kind of reach in some of the items, but in order to be able to access this properly, you really are going to want to place it down. And so like many of, kind of camera focused bags, you put it down on its face so that you don't get, the back panel and harness dirty. And then you can open it up and you have a pretty simple layout. On one side, you have a sleeve that can work to hold a laptop or a hydration bladder. At the moment, I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see that it fits in there pretty comfortably. There's a little bit of leftover space, and this is suspended off the bottom of the ground. So although it's not a very padded sleeve, you can still drop your laptop in there and you at least have that protection from the bottom. And so, I think that this does a pretty good job. It's very easy to get to your device when you actually open it all the way. And then on the inside, you can get a better look. No fleece lining or anything like that. This is, of course, an outdoor backpack, so I think that makes sense. You do have this loop here at the top to help with a hydration bladder if you want to thread it too. There is no sort of pass-through per se, so you're going to put it through the zipper, so it might have been nice to have that. But, still gets the job done, and it does preserve the weather resistance of the bag. And then on the other side, you just have a spacious main area. And I just tossed in my typical, daily loadout here, and it was able to handle it pretty comfortably. And so I have a pair of headphones in here, a bunch of pouches, Civic Access pouch 1 liter, Lockbee Tech pouch, my Bellroy Tech kit, a packable tote, the Evergood Civic Access pouch 2 liters, and my Alpaca admin pouch. And so just kind of wanted to showcase how much it could hold. But on the inside here, very simple layout, no additional organization. You do, however, have these attachment points that will pair with Peak Design's ecosystem of camera cubes and other accessories. So if you want to use this as kind of an outdoor camera backpack, you can put the cube here, put the bag down, access everything that you need. It's going to be secured. And then with the space that's offered here, if you wanted to use this as a simple, lightweight, minimal travel bag, you could toss in a packing cube and a toiletry bag and use this for a weekend trip. And so fairly minimal layout overall. I might have liked to have seen maybe one additional compartment in here just to give you some separation or organization, but for people who like to just be able to organize and configure a compartment in the way that works best for them, particularly if you're using Peak Design's gear, I can definitely see how this would provide a lot of flexibility. And considering the smaller footprint of the bag, it can hold a decent amount. And so if you're looking for something with an outdoor focus that's going to offer rugged materials and a sleek style, this is going to be a pretty cool option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the 18-liter backpack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on Peak Design's site. It's going to come in at around $190, so definitely an investment. It does feel like you're getting something that's really solidly built and offers Peak Design's typical unique style, but there's going to be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is Peak Design's Everyday Backpack Zip, which is probably my favorite EDC bag in their lineup. I really like the modern techie aesthetic that it offers. The clamshell layout allows it to open up so that you can easily load it out. It also has the ability to be accessed from the side so that you can get to your camera gear and other accessories. It has the adjustable divider, so it's going to be camera gear friendly. And then it just has a really nice feature set: dual external water bottle pockets, adjustable compression straps, a dedicated laptop compartment that's padded, suspended. And so just really checking off a lot of the boxes. It also has a luggage pass-through. The harness system on that one is not going to be quite as comfortable as the one on the outdoor line, but still, it gets the job done. It's also offered in a couple of different sizes. And so if you're looking for a durable and versatile kind of modern looking bag, that's going to be a great one to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Evergood CHZ22, which was recently updated to now include a dedicated laptop compartment. Beyond that, it has Evergood's typical solid build quality and minimalist aesthetic. It's going to work well in a lot of different environments. I really like the harness system on that one. It's going to offer a nice amount of breathability. You have great dual external water bottle pockets, a simple but effective layout. It's offered in a 22 and 26 liter size. And so if you're looking for something that's got more of a top loading layout and that's also just going to work well in a lot of different environments, and that's going to be a great one to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Patagonia Refugio backpacks. That one is offered in a 26 and 32 liter size. It's got a little bit more of an outdoorsy vibe. It's got compression straps on the side, dual external water bottle pockets, breathable and comfortable harness system. I really like the 26 liter size in particular. It just offers kind of a nice all-purpose size, good quick access pocket on the front, spacious main area. On the back, it has a laptop sleeve that you can remove if you're not going to be carrying your device to save on weight. And so, it's just a very simple but useful bag. And if you're looking for something that's going to be lightweight and work well in the outdoors and for all sorts of situations, that's going to be a really cool one to take a look at. With that being said, the Peak Design 18 liter backpack holds up pretty well against all those options. And although I think the layout might be a little too minimal for some people, if you're looking for something that's going to be solidly built and is going to offer a comfortable harness system and will also work well with Peak Design's ecosystem of camera gear and cubes and accessories, I think this is going to be an interesting option to take a look at. And I'm curious to hear what you all think of the 18 liter backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular camera and outdoor bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Peak Design for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.